Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. And this is a local candidate day, and today is Gilmer County Republican primary post 2 commissioner candidates. And I'm joined now, joining me now is Jerry Tuso. Mr. Tuso, how are you today?
Pretty good. Good morning, Brian. Gilmer's great.
Cold.
It's warming up.
It's warm. It's a little cold this morning, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I see we're pushing May, and I see people saying they don't know what season to dress for.
That's true. So prepared. Be prepared.
Let me ask you right out of the box, because I wrapped up the last candidate with this question, but I'm going to start with this one with you. Is in North Georgia, in the area we're at, specifically Gilmer County, Republicans are elected in the high 70% margin sometime, and there are no Democrat opponents on the ballot. And I say that because in the past I've seen situations where maybe somebody runs on the Republican side of the ticket knowing that's the vehicle to get to the office. So are you a Republican? How long you been a Republican? And, you know, do you support Republican values or the Republican platform?
Well, Brian, obviously I am a Republican. If anybody knows me and knows of me in Gilmer County, as I've served on the Gilmer County GOP for the last 8 years as first vice chairman and chairman. So I definitely have been ascribing to all of the Republican values. I'm against abortion. I'm for big business, of course, and those kind of issues. I know that there are people that are strong Republican, and there are people that are kind of milquetoast Republicans. But I have to say I'm proud of the last election where we turned out almost 82% for President Trump. So are there some that maybe lean towards being a Democrat running for office? I don't know that. But there are some that maybe aren't as active as others and have not been in the past.
Okay, so let's move right into, you have run for this office before, post commissioner. This is post 2.
That's correct.
And why you've run in the past, so obviously you have a reason, probably pretty strong. Why do you want to be the post 2 commissioner for Gilmer County? Why are you running for office?
Well, I'm running for office because for example, the reason and the way I was raised is that if you work hard and you do a good job and good things happen, and that's fine, but that doesn't make you a complete person. The complete person also does that, and he serves. He serves the public. And that's what I've always tried to do, and I have experience in different areas serving. And that's why I also want to serve as the post 2 commissioner.
In an article that we wrote here at Lonnie Adams wrote in an interview with you on Fetcher News, Gilmer County, you stated that you have watched the growth of the county basically double here since your time living in the county.
Yes.
And that you feel the post commissioner position maybe should move, and I think the article said 30 hours or a week in post commissioner. So you would advocate moving the position into full time, or?
No, my position ought to be, I've watched the growth. I've seen what the commissioner has had to deal with the growth. And I think he needs more help than part-timers. And I would say that we could do that, maybe not initially, to make both of the post positions full-time, but phase them in one at a time over a period of time as we continue to have growth.
So you're looking at future growth.
I'm looking at future growth.
That the county should look at look at the possibility as these commissioners being more than just 2 meetings a month.
Oh, absolutely. And I also say that we can, because the economy has turned around, we're seeing more and more people looking at Gilmer County as a very nice place to live. Gilmer is great, and we're looking at the builders are getting excited. Real estate sales are up. We've got to be prepared to handle this. We have some issues and I'm sure you're going to ask what they are. We have some issues that we have to look at that have to be accomplished to continue our sustained and proper growth.
Sustained and proper growth. Let's get into those issues. What issues are you pointing out that have to be addressed, or we have to be aware of that are coming our way?
Well, just in that part, there's an issue with the tiny buildings, the tiny homes,
yes,
and that kind of
the zoning on that.
There's zoning on that. Is there zoning? Is there not zoning? Zoning has never been favorable in Gilmer County. That's an issue that has to be looked at. I'm not in favor. I'll go on the record. I am not in favor of zoning, but I am in favor of proper recognition of the need for growth. That being said, we have to have growth in the building area where they can be properly inspected and that kind of thing, and assess to help the builders fulfill our needs. But they have to be watched over. We have a lot of great builders in this county, and they need the help and assistance, I think, from the commission.
And what way do they need help? Now, let me say here, you did spend time in the Planning and Zoning Commission in, is it Hurst, Texas?
That's correct.
You spent time in Planning and Zoning there. So you understand that department of the county.
That's correct. I do understand that part. Well, also, in the Planning and Zoning, in which I was vice chairman and chairman in 3 years, that I was also working as an air traffic controller. So I was serving again, and I could see what the zoning had done. I could see what inspections had done. I could see what variances from some of the zoning and things needed to be done and could be done that you could do successfully, meet the needs of the city and meet the needs of the people as well. And I think we can do that.
Do you have you looked over the budget last year and this year's proposed budget? Have you looked over them and took any time looking?
Not at length. I have not. I have not. But I do understand that we have, because of Charlie Parrish's due diligence, that we are in good shape financially. We have money. I think it's $350,000 put in the kitty that we're going to, in the next couple of years, I think we're going to have a new swimming pool. I think our income is expected to be, I think it's in the couple $1 million range than it was the previous year, and it has grown in the last 3 years. But to give you specific numbers, no, I cannot.
Well, we have enjoyed the tax revenue increases. In fact, we have gone from in 2015, we're up to $3,550,575, up to 2017, $3,726,921 in what we're bringing in just the SPLOST revenue.
Yes.
Okay, and the SPLOST revenue is to go to pay the debt, but there's also 1.5 mil that's on the property taxes that is brought in last year, $1,823,966 to pay a portion of that debt, so the SPLOST is able to use to buy equipment. The SPLOST is going to run out in 2 years, and they're going to try to get it on the ballot this year. Mm-hmm. Would you go out and campaign to try to get that SPLOST renewed in order to keep that bond payment paid?
Yes, I would. I would do that enthusiastically. Also, because I figured that also with the growth, we're going to have to continue to look at the other areas as well as the debt, and that certainly is our road situation needs to be helped a lot. So yes, I'm in favor of it.
There's been a lot of investment in the last 4 years into the road department. The road department, they've been making a lot of investments into to try to upgrade, update, depleted and equipment and so forth. But let me ask you this on the SPLOST. The last SPLOST we put in, we put the language that the first responsibility of the SPLOST is to pay the bond payment. We have a $4 million a year. Would you once again want that identified in the SPLOST, that it has to be first dedicated to pay the bond payment?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Absolutely.
Okay, because the only thing is, the last time there was a little side note in there, at the commission's discretion, they could use it a different way, and I don't want to mean it like they could just go use it, but it was taken out and it was readdressed.
It should have been.
Okay.
Yes.
We're getting close to the end of our time. Is there any specific departments? I mean, when you go down through here, a lot of people think, well, I'd like to be a commissioner, and then you start looking at the budget, and you've got animal control, and you actually have a sheriff's office and a fire department that between the two of them are $7 million of your budget every year, and that's a lot of money that needs to be reviewed.
Yes,
but then again, you have, again, like you said, your animal shelter, park and rec, roads and maintenance. So are there any particular areas that you want to zero in as a post commissioner in the budget that you've looked at, or?
Well, I think there is. My issues, I'll give you those in some kind of order. My first is public safety. Absolutely, public safety comes first. Then I think comes our social issues, and as well as our roads. We have to take care of all these things. There's numerous things on the budget that you didn't even name that are very important.
Absolutely.
There's a list of them. And to single them out as to a priority, there are needs that need to be met first. We have a bridge situation that has to be fixed. We did get a grant, but we have other bridges that need to be fixed in this county. So all those things come into play, and you have to evaluate them, but still have a rainy day fund in case you get in a problem, like the TAN note, for example.
Gilmer County, in the past several years, they put together a joint development authority, a joint economic development authority between East LJ, and the county, and all of them have a portion of the budget that they pay for an economic development director. Would you continue to support that?
Yes, I would, wholeheartedly.
Okay. Now, on roads and bridges, let me ask you this. Charlie Paris, you would serve. Charlie is going to be, obviously he's running unopposed, so he's going to be your chair commissioner for the next 4 years. And Dallas Miller, post one, will serve 2 years.
2 years, that's right.
How do you feel working within that commission? You know those guys. How do you feel you'll fit in and work with them on that?
I'm comfortable with them. I can't have enough praise for Charlie Paris. I think Dallas has hung in there and done a good job. He's got 2 more years to serve. I think he'll do a good job as well. I think I can be a compliment to them with my past business experience.
Jerry, we're running up on close to our time expiring this morning. What are some of the things that you would really like? Our goal this morning is to get the citizens out there to get to know the candidates. And one thing I'm fortunate of, and that I enjoy, is all the candidates that are coming in. I know each and every one of you, but that's our goal here, is for the citizens to get to know you out there. So what are some of the things, if elected as post commissioner, you have on the radar that you'd like to get done, or some of the things you'd like the citizens to know about you?
Well, I think, first of all, I'd like to make better contact with them that I haven't seen has been done as far as the commissioners are concerned. I think there should be more open things, meet and greets, if you want to call them that, just with the commissioners. And I think they not only have to recognize who you are, they have to recognize what kind of person you are and what your goals are. And they can't do that if you're just doing 2 meetings a month. You have to be available to the people, and they'll be able to call on me anytime, 24/7. For me, it's not a part-time job. It's much more than that.
So you're available for the workshop and
Absolutely.
the monthly meeting.
Absolutely.
Anything particular in the planning and zoning that with builders and some of the regulations, whatever, anything particular, especially with the tiny homes or anything like that you'd like to comment on, or you'd like to look at a little closer where zoning's concerned?
Well, I'm not willing to look at the fact of zoning itself. I don't think we need that now. We're not at that stage. I think as far as the builders are concerned, we have to get behind them, support them. We have to look at what the specifications are that are required, what we can do to help in that area, and what we cannot do in that area. And I think there needs to be more interplay between the commissioners and the builders. I've been to the last couple of builders meetings, and there was one commissioner there, Charlie Parrish. I'd like to see them all there. I'd like to see all the commissioners meet with all these groups when they have meetings. That's what I'm talking about, where it's not a part-time job. You got to be out there all the time.
Jerry, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Like we tell all the candidates, we wish you well in this campaign, and we thank you for your willingness to want to serve the citizens.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
Okay, folks, and this is Jerry Tuso. Jerry Tuso is running on the Republican primary for post 2 commissioner here in Gilmer County. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with our next candidate for post 2 commissioner. Take us a break, Amanda.